Hello, everybody. This is Hybrid,
And this is White Sheep.
and yes, today we'll be doing comic book versus number 13, I believe, Sentry versus Icon, right?
Yes, that is right.
So, I'm taking Sentry. Actually, I'm actually a pretty big fan of Sentry. I think he's one of those characters that always gets the short straw when it comes to writing.
Definitely. He's really almost underrepresented for a character as powerful as he is. He doesn't get shown a lot. And, I mean, I like personally the fact that his character has that little kind of twist that he's crazy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, he's essentially, like, he has so much potential, but he's also, in a way, like, a drug addict's greatest, like, dream. Because, I guess, Sentry's origin, he, like, finds a drug, or he's looking for, like, heroin, I think. I think that's what the drug was, heroin or cocaine. I'm pretty sure it's heroin. And he finds this, like, experimental drug, which gives him the powers to become Sentry. And basically, I feel like some druggie out there learns about Sentry, he's going to be like, I'm going to go to every weird-looking warehouse I can find now that might have chemicals in it.
just scoop up all the shit that looks like heroin and inject myself with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But supposedly he gets his powers from God, and he has, like, this alter ego thing that's evil.
Debatably.
Yeah, debate. Well,
That
they
really
proved,
depends.
or he has this alter ego named the Void, which is a totally different character, and they proved that the Void is the angel of death, and since they have said that the Judeo-Christian God is the most powerful deity, I guess, that would in turns kind of make him like one of those powerful characters. But we're not gonna really go into that much.
It's too confusing. I tried to do a little research on the history of the character, and my head hurt. So
Yeah.
that sucks. He's taking Sentry. I'm taking Icon, who, reading a lot about Icon, I find to basically be sort of like a badass black Superman.
I think he's actually more powerful than Superman.
I think so too, but that's really because he can do the kind of force stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like he's got the he manipulates gravitrons and all this stuff to basically make himself a complete badass.
Yeah.
Punches people really hard and shit. But
He's a Young Justice.
who doesn't? But he no, I mean, especially it's because he can put like extra energy into his punches and stuff, and that's really cool. I mean, I like that. It's plus his character. I feel like it's good. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that he's another one that's kind of gotten the short straw for someone as powerful as he is. He doesn't leave Dakota a lot.
Yeah.
In a way, I like that though. It makes his stories a lot more concentrated and personal than maybe some of the JLA ones get sometimes. I know those are personal to a level, but this one, it's his town, really. He's not responsible for a lot of stuff. It's just his town, and I feel like that's a good thing for the character.
Yes.
Should I just jump right into the character stuff?
I guess we can now. So
Swan dive.
yes, let's
Into the backstory of Icon. Basically, his real name is Artis. He's an alien, sort of like Superman, crash landed on the planet in the early 1800s. This is where it gets interesting. He came upon a black person and decided that would be the form he was going to take. Takes the form of a black person. Because he has incredibly slow aging, he's actually just waiting for Earth technology to catch up with his spaceship's technology. That's what he was originally doing. And now he's actually, he kind of cares about the people now. So, only because he's been living here for like 150 plus years. He's fought in the Civil War, World War II, and a bunch of stuff, all while apparently being heavily influenced by Booker T. Washington and stuff like that. He's actually a Republican. But he's a well-respected figure in the Dakota community. You know, Dakota, famous for actually a lot of black superheroes.
Yeah.
Static Shock.
Rocket.
Rocket. Rocket was actually Icon's sort of sidekick for a little bit. But, Icon, he's really powerful, and that's the thing is I say he's like Superman only because the origin's the same, the powers are the same, he can fly. Basically, he's Black Superman. Except for the fact that he has an added skill of energy projection, and that's where he kind of gets this. That's where he gets a little edge, in my opinion. Is his energy projection is really like he can manipulate not matter but different particles into pulses using positrons to enhance his strikes and stuff like that. He can also use that to create force fields. More of his powers, he has superhuman strength, speed, durability, agility, reflexes, stamina, senses, healing, and I'm not going to say retarded aging. Why would you write that? That's insensitive.
I mean,
He has
slowed aging.
slowed aging and flight. I'm sorry if Josh just insulted you.
Yes.
He didn't mean to. But no, so he's really powerful, like literally on par with Superman in a lot of those categories. And don't shoot me for saying that; it's true.
He could probably take Superman.
Dude, he could take
if
Superman.
Superman wasn't as hyped up, and yes, I said it. Superman's hyped up.
Dude, he's really hyped up because it goes back and forth to where he can, I guess All-Star Superman, but they had a reason for that.
Yeah, that was more of like kind of a homage.
But seriously, for a while there in like the 70s and 80s, you could not kill Superman until they killed Superman.
He slapped the devil,
and that was great.
He slapped the devil. He pimp slapped the devil himself.
You can do that, but see, that's the thing is, Icon, he's really powerful, and that's just, we're comparing him to Superman just to give you an idea of how powerful he is. So let's go to his stats. Strength, he's a level 7 on our strength scale, which is incalculable. He can easily lift over 100 tons, a lot like Superman. Yeah. It's on par with that. It's way out there, like, holy shit.
But enhancing himself either.
Speed, he is level 5. He can fly at supersonic speeds using control of gravitrons and manipulating magnetic fields, and he can control his molecular movement and stuff like that. It comes from being an alien, Fighting, he's level 5. He's a master combatant. He's been trained in unarmed and armed combat since he served in the Civil War and World War II. That kind of goes for itself, I guess. Durability, level 7. Force fields. Icon can withstand tremendous impact forces, high-caliber bullets, extreme temperatures, extreme pressures, and powerful energy blasts without injury. He can also make force fields using positrons, and he creates, kind of semi-solid energy fields. Now, at some point in his history, he actually started wearing kind of a biotechnical suit from his home planet that actually increased his durability. I think we took that into account. But it's almost sort of like an armor.
Yeah, it's very similar, you could say, to the kind of suit Superman has in New 52. I guess that's kind of the closest really that's idea really I can close.
Give. For intelligence, he's level 6. He's a super genius. His mental abilities are far beyond a human's intelligence. He has 1,000+ years of intergalactic law and is also fluent in English and Galactic Standard. That is the alien language of kind of the It's more like the accepted alien language of the DC universe. There are tons of other languages out there. That's the one people they use to communicate, like with each other. Interesting side note: Icon is actually a lawyer. He's a very respected lawyer in Dakota. Did you know there was actually a reference to Icon in Static Shock? In the TV shows, there was the Augustus Freeman Community Center.
I didn't catch that when I first saw it.
I didn't know that until I was reading up on Icon.
Nice.
Energy projection. He's level 6, multiple forms. He can project concussive, which is extremely powerful. Stuns. They can overload electronics. Pulses, they're highly destructive. And other versions of energy via projecting and manipulating positrons. So gravitrons, positrons, neutrons, protons, electrons.
Something trons.
Megatrons.
Yeah, Megatrons.
Johns. I don't know. What else? So basically, he can create force fields, and using those positrons, like I was saying, he can do the strike thing. Really, like, beyond Black Superman. It's just because of that energy projection thing. I mean, I know Superman has the cold breath and the heat ray, but still, I think it would be kind of hard to go against Icon.
Can he control his molecules? I think not.
Yes, he can. He can control his molecular momentum.
Superman.
Oh, Superman? Okay, yeah. Superman, I don't think he can do that.
Yeah. So, I guess I'll take Sentry now. And if you don't know Sentry, I recommend you actually read the whole, like, Dark Avengers thing.
It's impressive.
They use him. He ripped Ares in half. He's ripped Carnage in half.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't rip Ares in half. He pretty much, like, took his whole bone structure out of his body.
That was unfortunate.
He's powerful enough to kill Thor easily. The only reason Thor beat him in Dark Avengers and the whole Dark Siege thing is because he turned himself back to normal, as you say, and I have quotes in the air right now, normal, and begged Thor to kill him. That's the only reason why, so the Void wouldn't destroy everything. And he took down Asgard all by himself. But let's get to his powers and abilities. Very similar to Icon, which is why we chose him. It is superhuman strength, speed, durability, agility, reflexes, stamina, senses, healing, energy projection, flight. He also has limited kind of physionic abilities, and by that I mean he's able to kind of like put his memories into other living things. So that's just about it. It's not like he's a very strong telepathic person or anything. So yeah, I guess we should go to his stats now. Strength level 7, just like Icon. He can easily lift past 100 tons.
And that isn't even touching it, dude.
That's really not. Iron Man himself said he actually, Iron Man and Shield have both said that they have never been able to find a weakness for this guy.
But seriously, I mean,
it's crazy.
He scares the Marvel universe shitless. I mean, literally.
He does. He took down he took the Hulk, right? And during World War Hulk, I don't know if you read it. It's a pretty good series. I reviewed it as one of my earlier reviews, but basically, when that whole World War Hulk thing was going on, Hulk was so upset that basically he was starting to actually emit gamma radiation, and no one, and I mean nobody at all, could stop him until Sentry came out, and Sentry and Hulk duked it out so much that they actually exhausted both of each other out, and they actually said Sentry didn't use all of his full power. He used near his full power, but not all of it.
That's because Sentry, when he uses his full power, it's like bad things happen. It's one of those things where
he's afraid, though, of the Void.
Yeah.
He's afraid the Void's going to take over.
If he loses control, then the Void kind of... If he goes full strength, there's a higher chance that he loses control, and that's when the Void takes over.
Yeah, and we're not going to actually... The Void doesn't count right now. That's a totally different character as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Especially since they have stated he's the Angel of Death. So... There's that. I think we mentioned this earlier. He's supposedly powered by the one above all, aka Judeo-Christian God. But let's move on from that to speed. He is level 7 warp speed. He is much faster than Icon.
Oh yeah.
And he basically, to justify this, he traveled on Earth, kind of cruising around at 5 miles a second. Then in space, or actually not in space, from Earth to the sun, it took him a few seconds.
You know that's a long trip.
Yes, the speed of light, it takes you about 8 minutes from the Earth to get to the sun. So this is actually saying quite a lot about the character's speed. And then also, let's go to fighting. I debate this, but the stats say it's level 2, which is normal, which basically means he has the skill of an average untrained or experienced person. Which actually, I was thinking about it, and I can see why, because with so much power, he really doesn't ever get a chance to actually fight anyone without basically demolishing them right there.
Basically, I would also say, since he's dealing with the whole crazy thing, training kind of takes a backseat.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's the thing is, you've got someone this powerful, why would anyone in the Marvel Universe that's not a villain agree to train him on the chance that he goes crazy? I mean,
exactly.
I can understand some of, Captain America teaching Iron Man basically bare knuckle boxing and the whole fighting Irish, old style fighting stuff, whatever he knows. But that's one of those things where, and I get that because that's a superhero helping a superhero out. Sentry kind of toes the line.
Yeah, it really depends on his mental state, and that also goes with his powers as well. He potentially has more powers than we actually know about. Except for, it all depends on him mentally, and like White Sheep said, probably if he had training, he'd be able to unlock more of his powers.
And whether this is a tinderbox statement or not, training Sentry is kind of like handing a bipolar person a gun. Because it's or any kind of weapon.
Actually, no, it's like a button to a nuke.
It's really, no, because it's seriously, why would you train someone that unstable? And that's just for that kind of is all I have to say about the fighting skill.
But I gotta admit, though, even though he is unstable, his heart is actually in the right place.
Yep.
And so I gotta give props to that. Makes him a great hero overall. But we get durability, level 7. The reason, unlike Icon, he is actually very, very durable, being able to take extremely high pressures and forces. I'm talking about ridiculous amounts.
Yeah, he tried to. I'm not gonna steal your thunder here, but he did try to kill himself once in dramatic fashion.
Yes, he threw himself into the sun, but that didn't do anything. Because I guess it turns out if he wants to resurrect himself, or even resurrect other people, he can do it. It's one of those things that he can't control, but it's kind of in the back of his mind, mental thing. So the thing with Thor killing him, Thor never really killed him, and they kind of hinted to that near the end when his AI, named Clock, basically had Reed Richards read Sentry's diary, and the way kind of Reed Richards' reaction, and then Clock was like, I'm gonna rebuild my master's, I guess, watchtower. It presumably Sentry's gonna come back, but I'm assuming he's probably just journeying out very far into space.
Yeah,
so he can't hurt anyone really. That's what I'm guessing.
They're preparing for his return. How it was kind of.
I don't know. I'd like to see him return for Marvel now, actually. And actually, I'd like to see him go against the Phoenix 5.
Definitely.
I wish they do that, but they probably are not. So, yes. And then intelligence. Sentry is level 6. He's a super genius. A lot of people think that this is another side effect of the serum he took. But anyways, it's to the point where basically he can detect all substances in a single object and also determine how much of like each substance makes up the object, which is a lot actually. He's also very experienced and intelligent in fields like mechanics, architecture, machinery, energy, cybernetics, robotics, computer sciences, things around those. He also made his own watchtower building from taking different materials from different parts of the world and maybe even other worlds. As far as we know, he could do that. And he also made a very, very complex and sophisticated AI system that I mentioned earlier named Clock. Then we go to energy projection. He's level 6, meaning he can manipulate, similar to Icon, multiple forms. And the forms that he can manipulate are project light, even kind of semi-hard light to a hard light construct. I'm not like similar to Green Lantern, but obviously not on the same level, most likely, because he's barely shown that ability off. But also heat, forces in general, kind of like pulses, and etc. All of these things he could do from very minimum power levels to very high power levels. And like I said, he killed a god with his bare hands without even thinking about it and smirked. Even though you can debate that the Void was taking over then, but at the time the Void was still using Sentry's body. It was just Void mentally, so there's that. And then we have the stats here, comparing them basically, and you can see while you could say stat wise they're even on strength and they're even in durability and energy projection, intelligence, and
it depends. Like, it really comes down to, is Sentry's speed, like, even though since it's warp speed and therefore vastly, because it's sort of almost like a logarithmic increase, it's exponential.
Yeah.
Is how much the speed increases, because to go from, kind of like faster than the speed of sound to warp speed is a huge jump, and that's only a two little blip thing on our scale. So that's a little more, I guess, misleading. But I guess what it really comes down to is whether that increase in speed, being huge as it is enough to kind of outdo the increase in fighting. It kind of is which one is more, I guess, which would work more in the favor of Icon or Sentry, because, Sentry has the speed going for him, Icon has the fighting. Would Icon's fighting experience allow him to beat Sentry, or would Sentry's speed, coupled with all the other stuff that they are equal in, kind of outdo Icon?
Well, I'd argue Sentry, just the fact that we really don't know his limits at all. And he seems, whenever someone throws someone more powerful at him, he just, at least at first, they might seem more powerful, but then he just demolishes them.
Yeah.
Example, the fact that he could take out what are considered gods. And, they're known to be and considered to be gods for a reason. So that's a big statement right there. And it's just, it also really comes down to his mental state of mind as well. That really determines kind of his power levels, because I don't know if you noticed, but he's a schizophrenic and he's also very afraid of his own power. So that's one of his issues.
I honestly have to go with Icon. I wasn't sure when I started doing the research, and I looked more into both of the characters. But honestly, I feel like as I studied more, the more I found out about Sentry really helped me figure out who was going to win this fight. Because I think, while Icon, I don't think it's so much Icon's fighting experience that does anything for him. I think it's the fact that Sentry's own, as you were saying, his schizophrenia, his sort of his own mental issues kind of would inhibit him and his ability to kind of combat an opponent such as Icon. I feel like that. Even though he stepped up before and beat people like Ares and Carnage, I feel like Icon's traits, coupled with the fact that he's, as good at fighting as he is and as smart as he is, almost like, because he's the real deal, as is Sentry. But I feel like you were saying, that risk due to Sentry's mental state, I feel like that'd be too much. I feel like Icon would take it because of that.
Okay, so I guess that's it for us. I guess kind of a quick, basically recap of the last verses, which Iron Man and Cyborg. Are you okay, White Sheep?
Yeah, I'm alright. I'm surviving.
Right. So basically, a lot of you guys overwhelmingly said Cyborg.
Yep.
I'm just gonna kind of count the.
It was like 3-1.
3. Yeah, it was 3-1. One person said Iron Man would win.
Wait. Hold up. We need more. Actually, let's do a little more research here. Okay.
Yeah, you guys think Cyborg would win.
Cyborg, Iron Man, and that's it.
Yes.
So Cyborg took it 3-1. Dang, I'm 0-1 already.
I didn't actually expect people to think that Cyborg would win.
You said Iron Man too, so we're still tied. We're both 0-1. Yeah,
I thought Cyborg. I thought personally right now at the state Cyborg's at, I thought Iron Man would. A lot of people would say Iron Man would win, but I'm really surprised. And one person actually has a really good reason.
I think this guy's his reason. I didn't even think of that.
DJ SO1 says Cyborg could just hack into Iron Man's supercomputer and demobilize him. So that's
which is true.
Good thing. You got 3 thumbs up there.
You got 3 thumbs up. I think personally, I'm not sure whether the Stark antivirus or whatever. I personally think Tony's gotta have something to prevent that from happening.
Yeah, but then again, he hacked into the Batcave, so
that's true.
You hack into the Batcave, you have something special going on there.
I agree. Well, we're both 0-1 right now.
Yes. Oh, and actually, that means that now we can start a subscriber contest, I guess, because of the fact that basically now we have 2 matchups, so. We actually have 281 subscribers as of recording this. If you don't know, we're recording this ahead of schedule, or at least not ahead of schedule, but a few days before we actually upload it, so we can edit it and whatnot. And then White Sheep's gonna go do some things because we actually have personal lives.
Yep. And by go do some things, he means I'm hitting up college. Yeah.
Yeah. White Sheep's gonna. We'll try actually continuing what we do. Similar to how on Comic Book Cast, they Skype call into each other. And basically, we're going to try doing something similar and continue Comic Book Verses. Because, we like doing what we do, and we think it's a great thing we do as well.
It's awesome. I'm just going to Skype in.
Yeah.
I'll do it when I'm home, but I'll Skype in when I'm away.
That's basically it for the video.
That's it for the video. We're just talking now.
Alright. So, see ya.
See ya.
Hello everybody, this is Hybrid. Just a quick thought. Basically, I'm going to start for the comic book verses on comicbookmovie.com actually putting a poll. So go to comicbookmovie.com and everything. I'm going to post a link in the description, and basically there's going to be a poll there so you can vote Sentry or Icon and whatnot, and then we'll make a video probably later, hopefully with White Sheep in it for Skyping in, or maybe he won't be gone by then, but yeah, so we will be making a video about the subscriber contest, and so we can start now. You have anything to add?
I'm White Sheep, and I approve this message.
Alright, so yeah, see ya.